Hello everyone, I am Professor Shaista Khanum from Vidyavardhini College of Engineering and Technology. I'll be briefing about power amplifier in this video. Power amplifier is widely used amplifier, and mainly in this video at the end we'll be concentrating how we can uh, mount Class B power amplifier, and we can observe the crossover distortion on CRO, and also we'll see that how by using Class AB it can be avoided. So what is power amplifier? Power amplifier is an electronic amplifier which is used to increase the magnitude of power. Now we have already studied that about voltage amplifier. Voltage amplifier mainly amplifies the voltage. Now here power amplifier mainly amplifies the power. So basically where we are using power amplifier is mainly, power is needed to drive the heavy loads. Heavy loads is nothing but like a speaker, headphones, RF transmitter. See here we need more power. Mainly we need very high current over here. So in order to drive these type of load, we are using power amplifier. Now uh, the main if as I said the current in power amplifiers are in amperes, and the power is in watts. So the power dissipation of a transistor is very high in case of a power amplifier. So in order to so due to that it is becoming hot, and as the heavy current is passing through it, right, due to the heavy power dissipation. So normally a heat sink is used, which is nothing but what, a component that increases the heat flow away from a hot device. It is nothing but, you can say, it is providing a more area so that heat can uh, spread out of the power transistor. Hence the temperature can be maintained, and we can utilize the maximum power dissipation limit of a power amplifier. If we are not using heatsink, then we cannot use a maximum PD max of a transistor if the temperature is high. Now there are different no, before going to the classification, we'll just see where it is used. See, this is nothing but what, a audio amplifier. If you can see the audio system here, with the help of mic, when we speak, our sound signal is converted into electrical signal using a transducer. Then it is pre-amplifier. After that, we are, see, the output of the transistor is normally very small. It is in millivolts. So here the pre-amplifiers are required. So this is nothing but voltage amplifier. Mainly voltage amplifiers are used at the in the starting stage of the audio amplifier. Then there are some tone and volume controls. Then here our load is nothing but a speaker. So in order to drive the speaker, before the speaker we use power amplifier. Why we use power amplifier? Because the speaker resistance is less and it needs more power to drive. So hence we cannot use normal voltage amplifier, we need to use power amplifier. Now power amplifier is, if you see the communication block, right, the transmitter block or receiver block, in that transmitter block you can see always before the antenna there is always a power amplifier, because we know that if you want that the signal should travel a long distance, then its power level should be high. So in order to travel a long distance, so we increase the power level of a signal before transmitting it through the antenna. The next is nothing but what, a classification of power amplifier. Classification of power amplifier is done depending upon the position of the Q point. Here you can see this is Class A power amplifier. In Class A power amplifier, Q point is at the center of the DC load line. If you see, if it is at the center of the DC load line, so whenever you are giving the input voltage, you can get whole 360 as the output. So this is nothing but, this is indicating that in Class A power amplifier the conduction is 360 degrees and Q point is at the center of the DC load line. Here this is a normal CE amplifier in which this transistor is replaced by power amplifier. Now but when Q point is at the center of the DC load line, power dissipation on a transistor is quite high. Hence the power loss in Class A power amplifier is quite high. In order to overcome this problem, see, the one more problem of this circuit is nothing but impedance mismatching here. If we are driving a speaker which is of low resistance and this is high resistance, so there is a mismatch. So normally instead of using this RL, RC over here, we normally using transformer over here. So with the help of transformer, the impedance matching we can get. But in class A, main drawback is power dissipation. Now in order to avoid this, what we do, we shift our Q point. Now here the Q point is at the edge of the cutoff region. So when you pass the input signal, you can see only for this part of the input signal, transistor is in active region, whereas for this part of the input signal, transistor enter into cutoff region. Hence only this half cycle you can get at the output. So you are getting, you are giving input signal as total 360, but output is only 180 degrees. So in order to get the complete cycle, here we are using two transistors. So when you, so during the positive half cycle, one transistor, during the positive half cycle, this transistor will conduct, you will get the output, and during negative half cycle of the input, this transistor is going to conduct and this will be off. So in this way, you can get the complete 360 degrees. Now here you can see as the Q point is at the cutoff, and you can see in a circuit diagram there is no biasing resistor. As there is no biasing resistor, your transistor is turning on. Your transistor is turning on due to the applied input signal. But we know that the transistor needs 0.7 volt to conduct. So that means when the input voltage is less than 0.7, you will get the output voltage 0 because the transistor is not conducting. So this is called as crossover distortion, and that we'll see in later in this video. Now so this is nothing but what here as I said, there is a problem of crossover distortion. So this can be avoided by using this circuit. The main difference you can observe over here. Here we have shifted the Q point, which is now near to the cutoff, but it is in active region. So with the help of class AB, our conduction angle has also increased and the crossover distortion can be avoided. Now here class C is nothing but Q point is below the cutoff region. Now here when you apply the input signal, your conduction is for a very small period of time. So your conduction angle is less than 180 degree. But the main benefit of this class C power amplifier is efficiency is high, and which is higher than class B. See, for class A it is 25 to 50%, class B 78.5%, and class C 85 to 90%. In class C power amplifier, you can see if there is a very small conduction at the output. So what we can do here, in order to get the complete 360 degree, here this resonance circuit or tuned circuit is used to get the 360 degree output. Now this is nothing but what a comparison of power amplifier. Here you can see how much is a conduction angle. So this x-axis is conduction angle and y-axis is efficiency. You can see class A, it is conduction is 360 degree and the efficiency is 25%. When you go for class B, when it is for class B, here we are getting, for class B power amplifier, the efficiency is 78.54%, right? And this is more better for this class AB power amplifier, whereas for class C power amplifier, efficiency is, you can see the conduction angle. Here the conduction angle is 180 degree for class B. Here conduction angle is more than 180 degree, and class C the conduction angle is less than 180 degree, and the efficiency for class C is quite high. So this is nothing but what comparison of power amplifier. Now here in this diagram, the efficiency is not exactly matching, but see, please remember, though instead of this, you can please remember class A is around 25 to 50%, class B is 78.54%, and class C is 85 to 90%. Now this is crossover distortion. Now as the when you give the input signal, see, in we have seen in class B power amplifier, here you can see when you give the input voltage, a transistor is going to conduct. So when your input voltage is less than, over here you can observe, when your input voltage is less than 0.7, what will happen? Your output will be 0 because your transistor is not conducting. So till 0.7 your transistor is not conducting. So this is nothing but a discontinuity in output signal, which we cannot tolerate, right? So this is nothing but what a crossover distortion, and this crossover distortion you can observe the same thing is nothing but when the input is between 0.7 to minus 0.7, your output is 0 over here. This is nothing but a called a crossover distortion. Or to avoid this, see, the problem is due to turning on the transistor, it needs 0.7. So what we can do here, this is class AB power amplifier. With the help of this divider network, we are giving this 0.7 volt with the help of this diode to turn on this transistor before applying this AC input. So if the transistor is on, when you give the input voltage, there will not be any possibility of crossover distortion. And very important thing about this circuit is nothing but this diode. See, here we can use a resistor also, that is also correct, but here in this diagram diode is used because diode is a semiconductor, and VBE base emitter is also a diode. So when if there is some temperature change, if VB is affected, then diode is also affected by the same thing. So that means there is no possibility of any error or any mismatch. So in this way it is providing a temperature compensation also. So next we will see how this circuit, if it is mounted on a breadboard, how we can observe the crossover distortion on a CRO. So thank you so much.
This experiment is class B power amplifier. We know that in class B power amplifier there is a distortion which is called as crossover distortion. We know that in class B power amplifier there is no biasing, Q point is at the cutoff. As Q point is at the cutoff, so due to which crossover distortion is occurring, which is nothing but what, when the input voltage is less than 0.7, till 0.7 your transistor is off, and hence your output voltage is 0. So you can see we have connected a circuit. This is nothing but what, your NPN transistor, and this is PNP transistor. You can see this is nothing but what, power transistor, as I have explained, right? See, this is nothing but a metal body, and this is you can see it is large, right? Why it is large in size? Because power transistors power dissipation is more, so if the its area is more, heat can be spread. So here I have connected a circuit, and you can observe on a CRO, right? Simply in this experiment you need to connect a circuit and you need to observe the input voltage. Here you can see I am giving the input voltage with the help of function generator, and see, and here I am giving a supply voltage of 9 volt. Definitely I need because the current is taken from the supply, and this is a function generator. In a function generator you can see how much is the frequency. I have set it to 1 kilohertz, and I am going to vary the amplitude with the help of this amplitude knob, and frequency I am going to vary with the help of this frequency knob. Now next what I am doing, here I am connecting a probe at the input side. You can see this is nothing but what, my input. This is my input probe which is connected over here. This is nothing but what, our channel 1 where I am connecting a input, and this is nothing but my output probe. This is output probe which is connected to channel 2. Now over here you can see the CRO setting. This is channel 1 and this is channel 2. Now in this channel 1 and channel 2 you can see channel 1 I have kept the this voltage knob at 1 volt, right? That means here you can see, if you count the number of boxes, 1, 2 and 3. So this is nothing but what, 3 boxes into 1. That means the input voltage I am giving is nothing but what, 3 volt. So this is my input voltage. This is sine wave of how much is input voltage? That is nothing but what, 3 volt peak to peak. You can see this is the output, and here you can observe the crossover distortion is visible over here. So this crossover distortion, now here I am measuring at channel 2. So if I am measuring, see what I am doing, I kept the channel 2 also at 1 volt. So here if you observe how much voltage you are getting at the output, you are getting 1, 2 into 1 volt, right? So that is nothing but you are getting 2 volt output. See, input you are giving 3 volt, output you are getting 2 2 volt, definitely 2 volt, because for around 0.6 or 0.7 volt your input voltage, your output will be 0, right? So that much is a deduction, hence your output voltage is less than the input voltage, and you can overlap this signal and you can check, you can see, right? So you can see over here ki your distortion is coming, right? So in this way you can observe the crossover distortion. Now next is nothing but what, in order to remove this crossover distortion, what we need to do, we need to give a biasing. So either we can give a biasing using R1 R2 a divider network, or you can connect a diode also in the circuit. So next we'll form class AB, and then we'll check the output. Class AB power amplifier is formed. Here you can see the change in a connection. Here two diodes are connected along with this, right? So it is forming a class AB circuit. That means with the help of this diode we are providing a 0.7 volt biasing to this transistor, so that before applying this input signal this transistor should be on, and this can avoid the crossover distortion. Now you can observe on a CRO that before we were getting crossover distortion over here. This is your input and this is output, right? So your output and input is exactly same. You can see you are giving 3 volt giving 3 volt input, and you are getting 3 volt output. So there is no reduction in a output voltage, but in a crossover distortion your output voltage was reduced, and along with that 0 over here, right? So thank you so much.